Online, just give me a couple of minutes here. I'm interacting with the user. Okay, like just give me some time. Okay, so I think for the online, my voice is clear for you. Can you please confirm your online whether I'm audible or not? So sorry for the delay. Basically, we are having some other batch. The demo just now being completed. So there are a lot of students here interacting. That is the reason for the delay. So we can start now. So guys, in the last session, which topic we have seen, guys? Replicas, right? So in today's session, I'm going to teach you the new concept called multi-node cluster. Which one? So just give me 1 second. Previously, I have one cluster ready that is running. Let me delete the existing cluster first of all. Just give me a second online. I'll be back. So let me tell you. So guys, till now we are working on single node cluster. Where we are working on? That is Minikube. See, in the last session, I clearly said that. So generally, we can't work on single server. Why? Because single server is going to be very, very dangerous. See, even though if you are having multiple replicas, see, this is my pod, I'm having multiple replicas. If one pod got deleted, you have the second pod to recreate, right? But unfortunately, instead of pod, now this time I delete the server, entire Minikube got deleted. How can I get the pods back? If one pod go, we have other pod, right? But if completely Minikube node got deleted, then how can I get my next server? Is it possible? No. So for this reason, in Docker, we implemented a high availability, right? What is the meaning of high availability? Maintaining more than one server. So in Kubernetes also, we are going to deploy the pods on the high availability. That means instead of deploying the complete pod on single server, I'm going to deploy the pods on the multiple server. So the main thing you need to understand is, see, basically, this is what exactly your cluster is going to look like. Let me delete the additional server here. Let me filter out the running instances. So now if you go and check, currently are you using the servers or not, guys? I'm checking the running servers only now. So it is my main server. This is my master node. These are my worker nodes. See, here, this is how exactly your cluster is going to look like. So generally, in a Docker Swarm, how I create the cluster? First of all, I created the servers manually. I install the Docker manually, and I joined the master node to worker node by using the token manually. So everything is a manual process. Which process? But in Kubernetes, with the help of the single command, I can automate the entire thing. I have the master node, I have the worker node, Kubernetes is installed, Docker is already installed. Okay, and the token is already copied. Apart from that, my auto scaling group is enabled. What is auto scaling group? If I delete one node, automatically second node will come, and my load balancer is like attached here. Okay, everything is functioned in an automatic way. So now today's concept, what exactly I'm going to teach now is how to work with the multi-node cluster. What I'm going to teach you now. So if you go to the concept here, I have explained it very, very clearly for all of you. See, now currently I'm going to teach you about the concept called KOps. What I'm going to teach you about. So first of all, you need to understand infrastructure. What is the meaning of infrastructure is resources used to run the application on the cloud is called as infra. For example, to run an application, I need to have server. What I need to have? For server, to provide privacy and security, I need to have VPC. What we need to have? And again, to distribute the load between server, we need to have application load balancer. And apart from that, automatically, if one server got deleted, I want to create second server. For that purpose, we need to add auto scaling group. What we need to have? See, in real time, if I deploy my application on the cloud, so we need to have EC2, VPC, application load balancer, auto scaling group. So all this will be called as infrastructure. What do we call as? The main function of KOps is to create the entire infrastructure in an automated way. Which way? See, first of all, we know Minikube. It's a single node cluster. If I create a pod on a single node, if the node got deleted, then all pods will be. That is the reason why I'm implementing KOps now. KOps is known as Kubernetes operation. Guys, it's a third party tool. It is a. So KOps full form is Kubernetes operations. It is free and open source tool which help you to create, destroy, upgrade, and maintain high availability production grade Kubernetes cluster. Which level of cluster? Production level cluster. Which one? That means, so with the help of the KOps tool, which is free and open source tool, you can create the cluster, you can delete the cluster, you can upgrade the cluster, and you can maintain the cluster. That is high availability cluster. What is the meaning of high availability? Maintaining more than one server. And that too, it's a production level cluster. Guys, depending upon the requirement, KOps can also provide the cloud infrastructure. Previously, if you go and say, I create the server with the help of Ansible or not, sir? With the help of KOps also, we can create the server. So KOps is to deploy your multi-node cluster on AWS and GCP environment. That means if I want to deploy my multi-node cluster in AWS as well as GCP cloud, I can use the KOps. But what about Azure? In Azure, we can't use KOps. Why? Because Azure will use inbuilt services. Remember, Azure DevOps means the DevOps is already inbuilt there. That means whatever the services required to run the DevOps, everything is inbuilt. So this is currently, we can use it for AWS and GCE. Officially, it is supporting for AWS, but other cloud providers like DigitalOcean, GCP, OpenStack, this will be on still beta stage. Which stage? That means simply to create VPC, to create servers, to create load balancer, to create auto scaling group. All this will come under infra. Completely my multi-node cluster. That means multi-node cluster means like this. Let me show you. What is the meaning of multi-node cluster here? Let me show you diagrammatically. One master node and two will be worker node. Automatically this is going to create, and automatically this master node is going to communicate with the worker node. And to distribute the traffic, I am going to create a load balancer. Again, this is going to be created automatically. And if one server goes down, I need to create one more server. For that purpose, I have auto scaling group. What I have? And to provide this VPC, and to provide the security for servers, auto scaling group, and load balancer, we have something called as VPC. So all this will be created with the help of the KOps tool. Which tool? KOps tool. So now is the introduction of KOps clear for all of you? Know? All of you. All in, can you please confirm, is the KOps intro clear for all of you or not? VPC, virtual private, like it's resemble to our VPN. Okay. Okay. So now already here you can go and see I have one Kubernetes cluster ready and running. So this I use for my previous session. So now currently I'm going to delete the cluster. Okay. Let me delete the cluster. Why? Because I want to create freshly. Kops delete cluster. So now this cluster will be deleted automatically. So you don't worry about this. See, currently these are running, right? Now these are all going to be deleted. You can see the nodes will be removed now. Where is the master and worker nodes? What I said about kops, it can create the cluster, it can delete the. Already I create cluster in my last session. Now I'm deleting it. Okay. So now I'll delete the main node also. See, sir, if we talk about the advantages, so this KOps can create the infrastructure automatically in AWS and GCP infrastructure. Deploy high availability Kubernetes master. That means if you want more than one master node, it can able to create. Support rolling cluster updates. That means in your cluster, initially you create 2 worker nodes, but if you want to make it to 3, you can go. And again from 3 to 2, if you want to come, you can come. So this is also called as rolling concept. Already you seen rolling concept, right? Yes. Auto completion of CLI, and it can generate the cloud formation and Terraform configuration. Of course, you don't know what is CFP and what is Terraform. It can support cluster add-ons, and it supports the state sync model. What is the meaning of state sync is? I'll tell you in the creation of the KOps cluster. Currently, you don't know what is this definition, but I'll tell you once I create the KOps cluster. Support the heterogeneous cluster. I think you know what is the meaning of homo and heterogeneous, right? Homogeneous means all the nodes will be same OS and same flavor. Heterogeneous means different OS with different flavors. If we talk about the alternatives for this KOps, we have AKS from Amazon, we have Minikube, we have Kubedium, we have Rancher, and we have. So this all will be coming the alternative for KOps. If you don't use KOps, you can use any one of them. Okay, sir. The simple principle about the KOps you need to understand is KOps can create the production level cluster. What is the meaning of cluster? Group of servers. But instead of cluster, here we are going to create infrastructure. What is the meaning of infra here? Resources used to run the application on the cloud. Example EC2, VPC, load balancer, and everything. Okay, sir, fine here. Now here, first of all, if I want to create the cluster, the first thing I want to do for here is, see, currently I want to create the infrastructure on my AWS cloud. So I'm going to draw a diagram like this. It is my AWS cloud. In this cloud, what I want to create here, I want to create the infrastructure. What I want to create? Infra. So how the infra is going to create now with the help of KOps? Tell me, is KOps a inbuilt service of AWS here? Is KOps inbuilt AWS service or like a third-party tool here? Now third-party tool want to create some resource on your cloud. Now what you need to give here? You need to give permission. How can we give permission with the help of IAM? Already we seen this on the Ansible class. Ansible is also third-party tool, but it want to create EC2 on the AWS cloud. How I can do it? By giving the permission. Here also we need to give the permission. So permission we can give from the IAM user. If you go to the steps here, how to create the IAM user, I have written here. Already we seen the same concept in the Ansible. Okay. So this is the second time you are seeing the concept. So don't confuse here. So let me create one IAM user here. Let me terminate this one also. So I'll be glowing and here I'll be clicking here IAM. In the IAM, I'm going to create a user called KOps. Of course, username you can put whatever you want. You can put Raham also. Go into users. Here I have a lot of users. So already I have a KOps user. So I'm not going to reuse this one. I can use the username called infra. Which user? Name can be anything. So click on next. Coming to the policies. So here I'm going to give the admin access. Admin means he can do whatever you want. But in real time, we cannot give admin access. We are going to restrict. I'll tell you how to restrict. Click on next. Click on create the user. Now, once you create the user, this user will be having credentials, access key and secret key. How to generate them? Click on CLI. Click on next. So now you can go access key and secret key. Now you need to download to the file. Why? Because in future, if you want to reuse them, you can use from the file itself. So what I'll do now, I'm going to create an EC2 instance here. General, like normal EC2 only, without any specification. Server name will be KOps main server. I'm going to give it as KOps server is fine. So Amazon Linux 2. T2 micro. So it's normal general server, okay? Launch instance. And today, like I was feeling very, very dull. Why? Because last session, it's almost all took like 2 hours. Come se come. Why? Because I started the session at almost all 4:30 and I left the session at like 6:20. Continuously, I was speaking for like 1.5 hours. Continuous speaking, not 1.5 hours, like more than 1.5 hours it is. So I was really excited today. And one more thing is today I haven't got the afternoon proper sleep also. Why? Because you know in AP today we have the election results now. So I was staring at the TV today. You also, na? Nice. Moreover than results, this WhatsApp status are Amma babai. Too much. Whenever I open the status, everyone is putting the same status. Same status again, repeating. Copy paste only. Of course, they are fans, na, they will have that much of celebrations. Huh? But whoever comes, we wish the AP should be developed like Hyderabad. I wish the same thing. It doesn't matter who is the CM. It might be Jagan, it might be Pawan Kalyan, or it might be like Chandrababu. The primary goal is how they have developed the Hyderabad. So same, then to develop on the AP also. That's my only wish for the elections. Sir, you are from AP. I'm from AP only. Whom we have voted. So basically, I opted for KA Paul. You know KA Paul? You know KA Paul, huh? Okay, man, like what you were thinking about KA Paul? When I was just kidding. Just I voted for some ex party. It can be anything. It can be Janasena, it can be TDP, or it can be YCP. Eh? Ah, very high confidential. That is the reason why I put that on Ansible Vault. Huh? Very confidential. Huh? Fine. Okay, sir. Now you have the IAM user here. Okay. So this user have the full permission. Now with the help of the user, I'm going to create the infra. But how I can attach the permissions of a user to my server means by running the command called AWS configure, correct, Anirudh? So here the same thing I have mentioned. If you go and see, after creating the user, every point to point I have given. So you need to run the command called AWS configure in the server. Now, first of all, what it is asking access key, copy the access key, paste it here. Now next, it is asking here, copy the secret key, paste it here. Next, in which region you want to create the infrastructure? I want to create the infra on US East 1. And I want output on table format. Which format? So this is the way how you can configure the IAM user to server. Create a user, generate the credentials, and give to the server by using AWS configure. It is a method number 1. In method number 2, we can assign the role also. I'll teach you how to assign the role in the upcoming days. Okay. See, US East 1 is the by default region for AWS. You know why it is by default and mostly preferred? US East 1 will have 6 availability zones. That means 6 data centers are there. If you compare to any of the AWS regions, this will be the highest data center region. And if any new feature comes to AWS, they will first test here only. That is the reason I extensively prefer US East 1. But it doesn't not, you need to prefer all the time this only. You can go to any region. You can take Mumbai, you can take Hyderabad, you can take Ohio, you can take Tokyo. Anything is fine. So it is my step number 1. What is the step number 1, guys? Giving permissions. Okay. KOps is a third party tool. Here I have written the description also. KOps is a third party tool. If I want to create infra on AWS, AWS need to give permission for it. So we need to create IAM user to allocate permission for the description also I have given. Step by step also I have given. Is the step number 1 clear for all of you? Everyone. Online, can you please confirm is step number 1 clear for all of you or not? Fine. Okay. So now in step number 2, I am going to install kubectl and KOps. In the last class, I installed kubectl and a Minikube. But here I am using KOps. Kubectl is the command to interact with the Kubernetes. And KOps is the tool I am using to create the cluster. So first command will download kubectl. Second command will download KOps. So already we discussed, when you download a command on binary file, what are the 2 properties we are going to give? We need to give executable permission by using chmod command, and we need to move user local bin. Why we need to move them to user local bin? Already in the concept of Docker Compose, I said this point for all of you. So by default in Linux, commands are classified into 2 types. One is inbuilt command, which come with OS. Second one is downloaded command. Download command again will have 2 types. Binary package, package manager. Okay. Package manager means you are going to download a command like a file. but that file need to have executable permission and it need to move to user local bin. Here, first command I am downloading a file called kubectl. From the second command I am downloading the KOps. These two will be file, but I want to make them as command. So I'm giving executable permission. chmod plus x means executable permission for KOps file and kubectl file. But these files I'm moving into user local bin. Why? Because all the user executed commands in Linux are going to store on user local bin. Now copy them. I'm pasting all of them at a single time. Okay. Done. So you download the KOps and kubectl. You give an executable permission. You move them to user local bin. Now my next point will be, if I use the command kubectl, will this command work or not? It won't work. And kops, it won't work. Why? Because it's not from the service point. It's from the AMA point. See, I'm telling you one important point. Basically, this point, lot of the people doesn't know. If you download the binary file on Ubuntu and move it to user local bin, it will work by default. But currently, am I using Ubuntu AMI or Amazon Linux AMI? So in Amazon Linux, we need to specify the path. For our server, we are going to tell if a user execute a command, okay, check the command on user local bin. Okay, this process is not required for Ubuntu, but as of now, I'm using Amazon Linux, so this process hai to karna padega. Definitely, you cannot ignore this one. So now there is a command call, a file called .bash rc. Go to this file and give the command export. I am exporting the path. What I'm exporting here? $path / user local bin. Okay. So now give the command source .bash rc. Now you can go and check, is kubectl command working now? Is it working or not? And even if I go and give kops, is it working now? So remember, this point also I mentioned here very, very clearly. Go to vam.bash rc and run this command. Lastly, save and exit and give the command source.bash rc. Why? Because if you don't do this one, your AMI will be very confused to execute the command. So we need to tell to our AMI, if I execute the kubectl or KOps, take it from user local bin. But is this process required for Ubuntu? Because in Ubuntu also we install kubectl, but have it done that process? But in Amazon Linux, definitely we need to do it. So is the step number 2 clear for all of you now? All in, can you confirm is step number 2 clear for all of you or not? Fine. Yes, correct, funny. So it's like environment variable, you can call it as. So now step number 3, I'm going to create a bucket. What I'm going to create? So what is a bucket? I'll tell you. So guys, bucket in AWS is called as a storage object. That means if you want to storage any kind of objects, you can use the buckets here. What we can use? But here currently why I'm using the buckets? That's the main question. See, whenever I create the infrastructure on AWS, okay, so this infrastructure will have servers, VPC, and that is going to maintain pods, containers, and everything. So whatever the data I'm having on my cluster, I'm going to copy the cluster data to the bucket. Where I'm going to copy? Cluster data to the bucket. So let me make it elaborate. So it is my S3 bucket. S3 is called a simple storage service, what you are going to learn in the upcoming classes. So it is S3 buck. Okay. The primary function of this bucket is to store the files. See, whenever I create the infrastructure, it will have cluster. That means master node and worker node. Inside the master and worker nodes, we are going to run the pods. Complete information of the cluster, I'm going to store in bucket. Why? Because in future, if I lost the infrastructure, still I have the infrastructure information on my bucket. From the bucket, I can get the data and I can recreate the same infrastructure. Is the logic clear for all of you? Once I create the infrastructure, data I'm going to export to the bucket. I'll create the bucket and I'll export the bucket. Why? Because even though in future, if I've lost my infrastructure, if I want to recreate the same infrastructure, already data is on the bucket. So with the help of the same data, I can recreate them. So for that purpose, I am running a CLI command. By using AWS S3 API, I am creating a bucket. What I am creating? And one more thing, you can do this process manually also, but I'm not teaching manually. I'm gonna do it from the CLI base only. So if you do it manually, these commands are not required to run. Okay. But here, with the help of AWS server, sorry, AWS cloud, with the help of S3 API, I'm creating the bucket. What is the name of the bucket? DevOps batch April 6 p.m. So it is the name of my batch actually, April 6 p.m. And I'm creating this bucket on which region? Let me go and run this command. If I run this command, automatically my bucket will come. With the help of AWS, I'm using S3 API to create the bucket. What is the name of the bucket here? DevOps batch April 6 p.m. And I'm creating it on which region? Now, if you go to the console and you can check, you have the same bucket here. Let me go and check S3 here. Cluster. Yep. You can go and check. Are you seeing the new bucket or not, sir? Inside this bucket, now we are going to store the data. But here, remember, for a bucket, we have a primary function called versioning. What is a primary function? Version. What is the meaning of versioning? Versioning means, for example, if you create a file on the bucket, if you store a file on the bucket, if you delete the file, still you can able to retrieve. How I can do it means with the help of the S3 versioning. So again, this is a separate concept from AWS. I'll explain there, but here I'm just giving the insight for you. So the main purpose of versioning is if you delete an object, you can able to retrieve the object. So from the command, by using again AWS Cloud from S3 API, I am putting the bucket versioning. I am putting the bucket versioning. For which bucket? For my DevOps for my DevOps batch bucket. And the bucket is on US East 1 region. And versioning configuration, I am enabling the status. Copy this one and paste it here. So now automatically bucket will have the versioning property enabled. If I enable the versioning property for my bucket, even though if I delete my entire data, I can able to get it back. That is the reason why I'm enabling the versioning. But I'm telling you, you need not to by heart these commands. Just understand the process. Third command is gonna be export to command. That means whatever the data I'm having on my KOps state, that means in my KOps cluster, whatever the data I'm having, export the data to the above bucket. So here you are seeing this bucket, right? Whatever the data you are going to create on the cluster, export the complete data to my bucket itself. So I'm copying this and I'm pasting it here. So again, step number 1 is to create the bucket. Why? To store the infrastructure information. Step number 2 is enabling the bucket versioning. Why? To retrieve the data. Even though if I delete the data, I can be able to retrieve the data. Step number 3, I'm exporting the data. Again, I'll explain one more time. Step number 1 is to create the IAM user. Why? Because to give the permission. Step number 2 is to install kubectl and KOps. Kubectl is to interact with Kubernetes. KOps is to create the cluster. So by default, how I am downloading these commands on a which format? Binary format. Which format? When you download command as a binary format, you need to give executable permission and you need to move it to user local bin. Step number 2 done. In step number 3, before step number 3, we need to go to .bash rc. We need to run this command at last and we need to give source.bash rc. After that, we need to create the bucket. I am creating the bucket to store data of my cluster and I'm enabling versioning. Why? Because I want to retrieve the data. And last, I want to export the data from my local to the cluster. And finally, this is the command what exactly I am going to use to create my cluster. So if you go and check here, I'll explain this command for you. With the help of the KOps, okay, with the help of the KOps, I am creating the cluster. Name of the cluster will be ramesh.kds.local. I am creating it on which availability zone? US East A. How many masters I'm having? 1. What is the size of master? And how many worker nodes are there? What is size of worker node? Simple command. Again, I'm explaining with the help of kops. I'm just creating the cluster. Name of the cluster will be ramesh.ks.local. And availability zones. It is on US East 1A. So master, I'm having one master with the size of T2 medium. And worker, I'm having two with the size of T2 micro. Now, if you go ahead and see, this is going to create my complete cluster. Are you seeing the complete cluster here? So these are the complete data what you are going to create. Now you are going to create VPC. You are going to get the elastic load balancer. You are going to get the auto scaling group, everything. Once, if everything is configured, I will recommend you to copy these suggestions and you need to paste it somewhere else. Why? Because these commands I'm going to use on future. Okay. Sir, once if you confirm, if you want to create the cluster, you need to run the below command with the help of cops, update the cluster of ramesh.kts.local -yes admin. If you hit this command enter within 5 minutes, how many minutes? Time is now like 6:49. Within 6:54, your complete cluster will be ready. Okay. So wait for 5 minutes. How many minutes? Now run the next command to see the background process. Basically, it is not recommended, but see, you will be getting a lot of errors, guys. I will speak you it exactly 6:54. Why? Because our cluster creation will take 5 minutes. You will be getting a lot of errors. Don't manage them. Ignore them completely. Okay. Just wait for 5 minutes only. We can restrict. There are a lot of restrictions. Just like for Jenkins, how I restrict the user, here also I can restrict the user. Okay, I'll tell you. You can give whatever name you want, but .ktest.local will be common. That should be common. Okay. You can put your own DNS also if you have. So still we are having couple of minutes left. Guys, just give me 5 minutes of time. I'll be back. Okay. So wait for exactly 7. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay, fine. So here you can go and see, is my cluster ready or not, sir? So it's almost all done. I think as per expected time, I think by 6:55 it will be done. So now if I go and see the console, let me show up here. Sir, I just ran a command, right? But see what is the effect of that command means. That command has created all this infrastructure. So the COP server is my main server. From there, I'm managing my cluster. Are you seeing the master node here? Are you seeing the worker node? Master node is coming from T2. Why? Because here what I mentioned here, master node I want from T2 medium and count is 1. Worker node count is 2 with T2 micro. Is it created or not, sir, here? Apart from that, if you can go to auto scaling groups here. Are you seeing the auto scaling groups? Have I created them? No, automatically it came. And if you go to load balancer, have I created any of the load balancer here? But again, it got automatically created. And even though if you go for security groups, there will be a lot of security groups. Are you seeing node security group here? Let me decrease some size here. Are you seeing the security groups or not, sir? So all this has been created automatically. And even though if you go for VPC here, let me go and search for VPC here. In the VPC, are you seeing ramesh.kts.local? How it got created again? Automatically. Subnets got created automatically. You can see all of these subnets and you can see the route table. So everything got created automatically. See ramesh.kts.local. With the help of this single command, this only one command had created the entire infrastructure. Apart from that, here if you can go and see, now the complete information of my cluster is going to be stored on bucket. Are you seeing this my cluster name? Hit enter. Are you seeing the information or not, sir? Now, even though in future, if you delete the cluster, it is also automatically going to recreate. Why? Because we have the data. What is the greatest advantage of this? As of now, we are having auto scaling groups. That means, for example, see, I am going to delete one worker node. See, by default, if you delete a server, sorry, if you delete a pod, it is going to recreate. But here in the KOps, if I delete a server, it is automatically going to create the exact same server. Let me show it practically. Currently, how many worker nodes I am having? Hey, it is mastered. 2. If I click on this and if I click on terminate, what is going to happen? Automatically, it is going to create the new worker node. Wait for some time. Currently, it will going to terminate status here. It's shutting down. Wait for some time. Within the next minute, you'll be getting the new worker node. And one more thing for today, we need to finish the class by 7:15. Why? Because there is some other demo going to happen here. Only for today, I'm leaving the session at 7:15. Okay. Hope you understand. Don't think I'm leaving early. Okay. There is a requirement. Just kidding. So it will come, it will spin up with new server here automatically. Just go and check. No, it haven't came, man. This is mask. It is my main cop server. It is my master. It is my worker node. Wait, रुको जरा सबर करो. I think it's Imran's dialogue, right? I have copied it from him. And one more thing, like how many of you are going for Linux here? All of you are going, huh? Okay, good. Try to attend daily. Why? Because Linux is going to be very important for you. Then how's the class are going? Is it good? Great. So try to interact with Imran sir. Why? Because Linux he'll teach very good. I'm telling you, the amount of knowledge you'll get from him is gonna be very high. Just utilize the knowledge from him. He'll teach you every concept in Linux. Okay. Up to it has done, huh? Yep. Sorry. Oh, class is not good. I mean, like if the class is not good, you can speak with the admin. They'll change the section. Why? Because see, in some classes we don't have AC actually. So just if you are not feeling comfortable, speak with the admin. They will try to change the class actually. It was multiple times. So currently you are going for which class? 505 is too much of suffocating. I know. At what time the Linux class is going to be happen? 4 to 5. That might be. Anil Kumar sir, have you know Hindi? Ah, I know. I know Hindi also. I know Telugu, Hindi, English. These three. Ah. So guys, you can go and click on refresh. Are you getting the second worker node here? How it is coming automatically? Because there is auto scaling group. The primary functionality of auto scaling group is to whenever if a node get deleted, automatically with the same configuration it is going to recreate. Just like replica sets work for the Kubernetes. So in the AWS, we have the concept called auto scaling group, which is going to create the similar servers. If one server got down, automatically it is going to create the same server. Even though if I delete master node, is it going to recreate? So I'm terminating the master node intentionally. Let's go and check whether I get the new master node or not. Auto scaling group. That is AWS concept which you are going to use later. Okay. Cops created the auto scaling group. Okay. अभी जो आप लोग कॉप्स के लिए क्या कर रहे हैं, हमें कॉप्स इंस्टॉल कर को कॉप्स का वजह से हमें ऑटो स्केलिंग ग्रुप किए. ऑटो स्केलिंग ग्रुप्स क्या किए? सर्वर क्रिएट किए. So now these servers are maintaining by auto scaling group, but auto scaling group is going to maintain by the KOps like that. Okay. So today we have taken almost all 30 minutes to create the cluster, right? Explanation. But tomorrow the same cluster I'm going to create within 5 minutes. I have the script. You know how our scripts are going to run, right? Just copy it, paste it, relax. Only 5 minutes. Huh? When will you? Imran sir will teach you in Linux. You have the scripting part. No, then I can't do anything about it. But don't worry, I'll give some insights for you how to write the scripting. Okay, don't worry, I'll teach you. Yeah? Sorry, readme file. I'll teach you. Don't worry. Okay. I think Dadapir you created the readme, right? So I'll teach you how to create your own readme files. Okay, don't worry. I'll take care of everything whatever I promised for you. Okay. So now I'll click on refresh, guys. If you go and say automatically new master node is coming or not, sir. This is how exactly the cluster is going to create. And if you create the pods here, let me create one deployment here, vm deployment.yml. I think all of you know the deployment manifest file. So I'm not going to explain this one more time for you. So let me run one deployment manifest file here, okay? Or replica set is also fine. Anything is fine. It might be deployment or it might be replica set here. But as of now, I'm going for deployment. Guys, how many worker nodes I'm having? 2, right? I'm creating 10 replicas. How many replicas? 10 replicas for 2 servers. That means each server will get how many replicas? 10 by 2. Right. You have the 2 worker nodes. If I create these 10 replicas, so 2 worker nodes will get 5 on each. Let's go and check. Give the command kubectl create -f deployment.yml. And one more thing you need to understand is basically, guys, currently the master node is still initializing. So it is not completely joined to the cluster. You need to wait till 2 by 2 checks got completed. Basically, this command need to execute, but why it is stopped, you know, this master node is still not getting 2 by 2 checks. Once it get 2 by 2 checks only, then only we can work with the nodes. Wait for 2 by 2 checks, okay? Sorry? Ah. You know, the craziest part of Kubernetes, in Kubernetes, manager node will not host the pods. You cannot create a pod on manager node. Why? Because by default, Kubernetes will be going for a tainted. What is the meaning of taint? Is not to place any pod on the node. Okay, it is gonna be interview question. Can you create? Okay. Can you create a pod on master node? No, we can't create. So I think all of you know him, right? Who's that guy? Venkat. Few days ago, he was the mentor, but now he's a DevOps engineer. Okay, you need to call him as sir now. Yeah. Hmm? Always your mentor here only. Yeah. Great, great. Just give me 2 minutes, Venkat. I'm completing this topic. So are you getting 2x2 checks now? 2x2 checks means your server is activated now. Let me go and run this one properly. Give the command kubectl get node. So this command is to get the list of nodes actually. So now give the command kubectl get PO. If I want to get the node information, I can put -o void. You can see here. You can see here. Oh, like let me create them properly. These are still on pending status only. So if I create them, 5 will be going for the worker node. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So rest of the pods are still creating wait. So if you create like this, automatically what will happen, if you create 10 pods, 5 will go to first node, 5 will go to second node. If I create 4 pods, 2 will go to first node, 2 will go to second node, like that. So in this way, these are going to be distributed. And at the last, the one thing you need to understand is once you create the cluster, you cannot delete the servers manually. Even though if you delete manually, these are also going to be recreated. So if you want to delete the cluster, I have written the command here very, very clearly. The command is cops delete the cluster. I mean like cops delete cluster. Let me show it for you. So here I have given the node point. What is the node point here? Read this one for me. The reason why I wrote is, even though if I tell here in practice, you are going to delete manually. If you delete manually, that won't delete. Again, it is going to recreate. Why? Because you have auto scaling group enabled now. So if you want to delete the cluster, the command is with the help of cops, delete the cluster, name of the cluster and put -. Yes. Definitely you can. Let me show you. Here I am deleting the cluster, right? You can see the cluster is going to delete. Even though if you delete the cluster, your data is still on the bucket. You can go to the bucket and you can recreate the same cluster. That is possible. Multiple clusters also we can create. Hmm. Huh. That you are going to learn in tomorrow session. Services. There is a concept called services. There you are going to learn it. Okay. Tomorrow or day after tomorrow I'll cover. Okay. So guys, if you can go and see, currently all my nodes will be gone. Are you seeing the master node and worker nodes here? You cannot see why because I removed the cluster, and you can go auto scaling group. Are you seeing the auto scaling groups here now? This will be vanished here. You cannot see. See, this is also going to be deleting. Have you seen the status here? Even go for load balancer. Currently, it is going to be on deleted status here. Go and check. The status is going to be now deleted. Wait for some time. Click on refresh. Now there is no load balancer. Even if you go for VPC also, there will be no VPC. So the primary intention is this is the command what you are going to use to delete the cluster. By this, today we can conclude the concept of KOps is to create the multi-node cluster in Kubernetes. Why? Because single node cannot hold the application. For that purpose, we need to deploy the application on multi-node cluster. Okay, so for multi-node cluster, which concept, I mean like which tool we are using now? KOps. So I'm wrapping the session today quickly. Why? Because the demo is going to happen. So now before going for doubts and queries, first of all, how's the class for all of you today? Is the class good for all of you? Online, can you please confirm, is the class clear for all of you or not today? Fine. So now if you are having any doubts or any queries, don't worry. We have a lot of time tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll go for doubts and queries part. But instead of going for doubts and queries today, so we have our DevOps engineer here. He's our Venkat. So now he's going to interact with you for a couple of minutes. He's going to tell his tips as well as his experience of working as Naresh Shetty mentor from taking the course to getting the job. He's going to share his journey with you. So welcome. So now online, like one of our mentor is gonna speak with you and he's gonna share you like his experience with you from being as a non-IT guy to DevOps senior. He is from non-IT again, you know. Yeah. So Venkat, just share your journey from Naresh Shetty to the current company you're working.
Okay, thank you, sir. And this purpose only I came here. How I share my journey with you because of I came from non-IT background. As a feed company, I joined as a what is it? I forgot my last designation. No. Just I maintain some workers like that, a supervisor. Then I switched to Hyderabad. Then I joined here, learning the DevOps and AWS and Linux also. Mainly, then after joined as a mentor, I know the several things, how to troubleshooting all the things and all. Okay, that's why I'm sharing. Okay, then mainly you are learning now. Mainly focus on the topics which the teaches the sir and all the things. Then after completed the course, didn't stop the practice. Okay, even 15 days you stop that practice, you forgot all the things. You know what is the Kubernetes, what is the Docker, and all the just basics only. But what is the services? What is the your services creating? What is the commands and all the things you forgot within 15 days? Okay, till up to coming the job, till practice, don't forget. Okay, don't leave that. Okay, thank you.
And if you want to give one suggestion for all our students, what is the suggestion that you are going to give for the students from your end, like from your experience? I'm asking.
Mainly here, not only for sir, mainly my guidance and other things should be dedicated to my Raham sir only. Because of no, because of now I'm standing here by the cause of first Naresh, then Raham sir. First, they suggest which one to take and all the things. The narrator will suggest. Then after Raham sir, after completed the course, he didn't leave me. Main thing that is. Then after he only preferred to join the peer mentor and all the things. He is my commando. Simply. Thank you, sir.
So guys, the thing I just want to convey for all of you is, see, as I said in the demo, once if you are my student, you will be for the rest of the life, you are my students only. Okay. So after the course completion of Venkat, I call him. I only call him. You come and join as a mentor here. And what are the doubts you are having, I'll be there to help you. Initially, while I'm taking the interview, this guy know how you performed on the interview. So out of 10 questions I asked, he answered only one or two. But still I believed on him. So this interview is not going to depend. So what I thought is, if I give a chance to learn, you will be learn. You have that much of like self-willingness for you. So I provided the chance for him. So like this, along with him, he is having one more friend called like Hemant. So for these both people, I given the chance. So they stood for themselves. They worked very hard. Now these people are working as a DevOps engineer. So guys, same amount of knowledge, whatever the knowledge that I have given for them is entirely different for you. Even I am giving double knowledge for you when compared with these people. Now you can understand like what level of knowledge you are getting. And he himself trained a lot of people from the labs, and those people cracked the interview with some experience also. Just understand the level of knowledge like what you are getting. So one thing I just want to tell for all of you is, there are a lot of people who try to kick you back, who try to demotivate you, and who try to always point out you. But I'll tell you one thing: believe on God and believe on yourself. That's the two thing. This is what I do. I first of all I build on God. Second, I build on myself. If I believe on me and God, No one and no power is going to stop me. That is the strongest thing I believe since from my day one to day today also. Okay. Of course, there are n number of hurdles you might face in the life, but don't worry. Your trainer is not going to leave you. Whenever if you want any kind of help regarding the course or regarding the career, I am there to help you. And even you can contact your mentor also whenever you want. Why? Because he is following my same path. Correct? Yes. So, and he is going to come to every Saturday here, Naresh Shetty. Why? Because just to interact with you. Whenever he is having a possibility, he will bring his laptop also. He will show his live work also. So if we have the chance, I mean, like currently you are here. So if any people from online, if you want to learn the real-time content, this kind of flexibility I can provide. He will bring his own laptop and I'm going to explain what is the project he's going to do. So you can map whatever learning here. The same thing you can map to real-time working also. Don't worry. By the end of this course, I'm going to take one day for you, one separate day. I'll try to arrange it on weekend, mostly a Saturday or Friday. I'll try to arrange. So at that time, whatever the real time his work is going to done by him, he's going to explain the project for you. So that is going to be very good advantage, right? And even online, I'm going to tell one date for you. So if it is possible for you to travel, just try to come here for that one day. And it is not possible to show it on online. Why? Because it's company thing. So very, very confidential. So I'll tell you this on one day. So try to be ready for that one day. Okay. Who is my favorite student? Huh? It's me only. Correct. Why? Because see, I myself train every day, Definitely for myself, I invest at least 30 minutes per day. I try to learn new things. I know complete things about Terraform, but still I try to learn new things. I know complete things about Jenkins, but still I try to learn new things. If you ask me who is your best trainer, my answer will be me only. And again, if you ask me who is your best student, again I'll say it's me only. Okay, that's it. So thank you, Venkat. Thanks for sharing your journey. And mock interview is also like I've seen only two people attended here from the offline. Three, sorry. Anirudh, you attended, the other peer attended, and Ankit also attended. Exactly. Basically, he's from KPHP, but only for you, your people powers. He came from KPHP to here. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So by this, like this week also in Saturday, I'm gonna conduct mock interviews for you. Don't worry. From now, I'll conduct mock interviews for every week for everyone who are interested. You will have him on the lab, and I'll be trying to come to the lab most of the cases. Or if it is not possible for me, I'll return it for online. For online, I'm gonna share the Zoom link for you. Just like in the last week, I shared the Zoom link. In the same way, I'm gonna share the Zoom link for you. You can attend from offline or you can come from online also. But I will recommend everyone to come to offline for mock interviews. I'm telling you, if you attend for the 3 mock interviews, you lost the fear of interview. I'll bet you. Ask him how many times I have taken mock interview for him. So many times. Why? Because you know everything, but you are not able to present. So if you lost the fear of presentation, everything will be very easy. So then, from next week, are you going to give the mocks? Yes or no? Say it loudly, man. Or loudly. Okay, then. So from next week, I'm gonna connect the mock interviews again. So I'll intimate these details on the Thursday evening. Okay. This week, Thursday, I'll intimate the Zoom link and everything. Okay. Okay, then. So I think it's a time for the next demo, guys. I have taken a lot of time. So let's move on to tomorrow's session with some new topic. Have a great day. Bye all. And thank you, Venkat. Thanks for coming.